Hi, these comments are for SS. This is Michael from BetterTOEFLScores.com. Thank you for doing a writing practice test. This is an integrated writing practice test. This is actually my free TOEFL writing evaluation service. So don't get too happy. I offer this one time per student, which means you cannot keep sending me practice tests over and over and over. You can do it one time. And I'm going to give you feedback on this practice test. So the main thing is, according to these rubrics here, how did you actually score? That is the question, right? So I'm looking here, and I really think that the three range best describes your writing right now. So let's say although the response is definitely oriented to the task, it contains only vague global. I'm going to put unclear or somewhat imprecise connection of the points made in the lecture to the points made in the reading. So I think that is the main thing. It says it's marked by one or more. This is the main area that you can improve on right now. Okay, so I'm going to give you a score here of 20 out of 30 points. I think that's where your score is right now. Okay, so let's take a look at what you wrote now. Now let's take a look at a couple of things here. So how will eRater, ETS's artificial scoring engine, like your writing? So let's see what Microsoft Word thinks about it. So Microsoft Word uses artificial intelligence to give you feedback on your writing. And the TOEFL uses eRater, which also uses artificial intelligence to provide feedback. So I'm looking at review, editor. So you get a score of 78 on this. Looks like you have what's called some grammar issues here. And I'm not worried so much about that. Let's take a look at your document stats. My goodness. Okay, I'm going to adjust my score a little bit here. Okay, let's take a look at a couple of things here that are concerning. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, I got it. Put this over here. Yeah, there's a red flag just really. Okay, let's look. Words per sentence. Your average sentence is 9.9 words, which is very, very low. Your characters per word is 4.5. That should be closer to 5. So you need to have an average sentence length of about 25 words. Why is that? Well, that's academic writing. Between about 20 and 30 words. I tell my graduate students who want to get master's and PhD degrees are probably looking between 30 and 40 words. But look at what your grade level is. Your Flesch-Kincaid grade level is 5.6. That is very, very low. Fifth grade writing. This is not college level writing. So give me a quick second. I am going to adjust the score that I gave you. I had no idea. Sometimes it's good to. I knew that you had some shorter sentences in there, but I didn't know it was that short. Okay, hold on a minute. Okay, here. I'm going to go into the to area here. So you have a problem I already showed you here, right? It contains unclear connections. In the to area, we have does it really contains language errors or expressions that largely obscure connections or meaning at key junctures. There's nothing in here that tells me I can score it in the 2 because of your vocabulary and your structure limitations, but nobody knows exactly how E-Rater works anyway, and it provides feedback to the human rater that scores your essay, but I'm going lower than 3 nevertheless. I'm going to put you at 2.5 out of 5, maybe 18 to 19 points out of 30, so I'm very concerned about a lot of really short sentences that you have in your writing, and also your vocabulary is very basic. Now, let's take a look at the actual essay here for a minute. You remember I said you have unclear connections? Let's go to the second paragraph to illustrate this idea here, right here. You see this? So you say behaviors shown by bears are often misinterpreted to be aggressive. A bear standing on its hind legs is not a sign that it's about to charge. Instead, it is usually done to get a better view. Snuff, growls, and slapping the ground do not indicate that a bear is about to attack. Instead, it is an assertion of dominance intended to drive humans away. When a bear shows these signs, it is trying to avoid a fight. But what's missing here? We have no idea that which information here is coming from the reading passage and which information is coming from the lecture. But even when I look at this final paragraph, it isn't clear who is saying what. So you need to make sure that you're showing what the connections are between the reading and the listening passage. Okay, so that's a big problem. So I think because of sentence structure and vocabulary limitations, and also because it's unclear how the main points in the reading relate to the main points in the listening passage, your score here is 18 to 19 points out of 30. And if you're interested, I have a lot of time for TOEFL private lessons. I'd love to help you. Maybe we can meet one day a week. I don't have tons of time, but I can set time to meet with you 1 hour each week. You can show up to our Zoom meeting with a writing practice test, and we'll work on it together. And I will help you to get your writing much higher so you can score between 28 and 30 points on the writing section of the exam. Alrighty? And if you're interested in the TOEFL lessons, just send me an email. And I do charge $50 an hour for my private lessons. Now, if you cannot afford that, I also have an inexpensive self-study course. It's called my TOEFL Speaking and Writing Feedback Service. You can go to bettertoeflscores.com to learn more about my service. That might be a good thing you might be interested in also. And what a lot of students do is they use my TOEFL speaking and writing feedback service. They use that, and then they meet with me 1 hour a week to do some one-on-one private tutoring. And that's how they get those super, super high scores on the TOEFL exam. Thank you for completing the writing practice test. I hope now that you have an idea of what your weak points are with your writing.